All right, we are live and rolling. Everybody say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Awesome. We have sound. We can be heard. One of these years, I'm going to learn how to turn off, how to mute my phone so I can have it playing while we're going, just in case the stream dies. But it's all right. We will continue to live life on the edge. So, when last
Living
week,
on the Edge. Have you made sure to check the title?
I did.
Nice, I'm proud.
The last week, you guys had returned to Nashkel, had left with Captain Smilodon to go talk to the city council, ran some errands, bought some things, pampered yourselves, and then after you spoke to the city council, you had been given a house, which you then uh, went to. You could even call it a manor if you wanted to, because it's a very large building. And went in, made some decisions on the walls and floors and such, and then it has now been filled in a bit. Anything anybody wanted to add regarding last week before we go into more details on your house?
Tusk and Gimbal signed up for the Adventurers Guild.
Correct.
And yeah, signed up.
And we have a magical tattoo that we can make, appear and disappear.
Yes, to prove that you are members.
I would
Yes.
like to add that we should recognize how much time and work's been put into putting this house together because it's actually really cool.
Nice.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, speaking of the house, which Sven built,
Mm-hmm.
as you're looking at it, let me go ahead and throw in. See, this is 2x2. Should be.
Well, there's a couple of sets of like full body plate armor type thing in
Those are mannequins. Yes.
Okay.
Mannequins to whack on.
All right, two. Well, phrasing.
Looks like they've already been whacked on because they're, yeah. One of them whacked so hard his arm's off.
Your arm's off. No, it's not. I've had worse.
It's but a flesh wound.
Still kick you.
Draw.
We'll call it a draw then.
I'll bite your kneecaps off. All right.
Right now. Right.
What a draw.
Yeah.
That is still one of my favorite scenes ever in that movie. So many.
So, you have a door to the east, which I'm adding in here momentarily, which you guys may want to keep locked or concealed or something. But that leads right to your doors, to the doors to the 4 bedrooms. You guys can decide who wants what. I figure Gimbal, Kithry would probably want the blue bed since that's the largest.
Tusk in the far right bed, and really just Kithry gets the one on the left because it's the biggest, obviously.
Exactly. That way she can roll around and jump and do her acrobatics practice on top of the bed.
Exactly.
But you guys can tweak these if you want to add, rugs or desks or chairs or tables or whatever you guys want to do. You can do those. You can make changes if you want. Get with me. I am me, whatever. But you each have your own room at this point. And then, as Gimbal was talking about, this room to the southeast is a practice room for has an attached bathroom. There's also a torture rack there for whatever you guys want to use a torture rack for. But you have mannequins. So it's for spells. It's for melee, it's for ranged combat, it's for music, whatever you
Whacking.
wanted to use it for. Um, it is there, and you guys
Invest in
can
some
use that.
comfort.
Uh, to the on the flip side of that is your living room with your asked for bar in the corner, um, and then you also have uh, your kitchen fully stocked with utensils hanging from the walls, uh, dishes drying in the rack. Um, and then you have below that, you have your large main bathroom with your two showers. You have your uh, library in the center there, and across from it are two pins. Those pins are large oil paintings of maps. So you've got your Sword, Sword Coast map on the wall and your Nashkel map that you can look at as you guys are plotting and researching things in the library and talking about what you want to do. And then next to the library is your storeroom for you have access to it from the kitchen, with all the stuff for your kitchen, and then you can also use it for other places in the house if you want extra storage. This large center area that's been divided into four rough is for you guys to decide what you want to do with those. Genesis had talked about possibly having a woodworking area, um, or herbalism. You could also have like a shrine to different deities. If you want to have a couple shrines in there, you could have a guest bedroom. You could have a workshop for Tusk, and where he can work on his armor or weapons and sharp, like a blacksmith, smaller area. Anything that you can think of, you can do. We can put in there, uh, and we can also partition it off separately or differently if you don't like the way it's set up. So that's pretty much up to you
Mhm.
guys to decide what you want to do going
One
forward.
thing I know, one room I was hoping to have something where we'd have like a meeting room of sort, if we had clients who want to come in here and do a planning session or talk somewhat privately about a mission, someplace to bring people that are not just us.
Is that what the
If we,
living room is?
that's a look, that's more casual. We could, I mean,
Are you
um,
thinking like a more official, like almost like a dining hall or just like study area, like an office?
Office space?
yeah, like an office, a study, yeah, would be good. Just something to delineate for clients. They don't need to see our opulence. Just want to bring them in and have them sit down and talk for a bit about what their needs are in a more private setting instead of on the street.
What are you selling?
Necessarily gonna
What
have
clientele are you
clients?
going to have? I don't.
Well,
I'm
we're
missing.
talking we're adventuring. Adventuring, I would assume for the most part, it could be some business situations come up, but
Okay.
we have if we're going out and saving people and doing things, if this is going to be our home base, then we just have a place to have somebody come in and give us more details on it without having to be on the street doing it. If there's
I
Yeah,
feel
something that
like
it
that's
requires more privacy than or whatever tact.
all right.
Or if we have to wine and dine the governor for some reason.
I'm pretty sure if we have to wine and dine the governor, it'll be in the governor's house.
Well, you never know. Maybe Kimball likes to host. All right. I will probably just give it some more thoughts, but I don't have anything like for sure in my mind at the moment.
All right. And so the other question is, if you're looking at, so besides the other links, you also have a link um, to the north, which is, I'm actually going to move over here to in front of your main door here in just a minute. There it is. Yoink. There we go. So it's in front of you to the east now. That shows you the section of the map for Nashkel that you're in. Uh, so if you click it, it opens up another map, and you can see that you are 258. So the question is, this cartographer has your main door to the east. Do you want a second door to the north or the west? It's more access points, but it's also more egress points if you have zombie infestations or fire breaks out. You can have another way to escape.
I'm fine with the second door. Don't know.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
A non-obvious door.
You can
Ooh,
have
hidden door.
you can have
A
hidden
secret.
doors. Yep.
Yeah.
So
That sounds fun. Having like a hidden back door.
okay.
I mean,
So you want that to the north or to the east? So I had originally built
I
this with the door in between the kitchen and your living room, but then I realized that the door should have been to the east, so that's my bad.
Mm.
And you can't simply just rotate the map. I could take a
I would.
screenshot once I'm all done and then rotate it, but I want to
one
be
does
able to
not
tweak things
simply
and take away
rotate
the
a map.
bear rug, for example, if you want to put a regular rug in there, stuff like that. I can manipulate anything in here.
An owl bear rug. Sorry.
I mean,
Bear
I
rug
think
fits personally.
Jen still has like shards of owlbear eggs. We could do something with that.
Yeah, let's not do
Well,
that. Just in case we ever do a cross thing and God never has to visit, he won't be horrendously offended. But go ahead.
So,
as
Wait,
a
what?
side, going back to the door, I
so
was
yeah,
thinking.
rephrase my question. Do you guys want a door to the north or to the west,
I'm thinking
or
north.
both?
Actually, it might be fun to have like a hidden door, kind of in the either like the living room or kitchen area. It's
Okay.
kind
Each
of hidden
person
beside
has
something.
their
I
own
don't know.
individual hidden door.
The one in between the two?
Two of them are right next to each
Um,
other.
yeah, I'm thinking like kind of right in the middle, the north,
Okay.
where you had the door
And
before.
then
Might
to the
be good to have it
west,
hidden.
do you want anything to the west? Any doors to the west?
I think it's should be all right. Maybe have like an
Okay.
extra large window on that side just in case, but not necessarily a door.
I mean, windows are just doors that haven't been used yet, so.
But tend to be more obvious when you go through it.
Unless you're Kithry.
Yeah, fair. Forgivable.
I'd have to use a stool to get through a window like that. What are you talking about? I'd leave all sorts of trace.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. So you have
Sorry,
your
I will
double
be right
doors.
back.
I mean, your double window. Close this map. You'll notice also on the pin for the section double D, uh, all those pins, if you hover over them, it tells you what they are. You can also click on the link and it'll open up and tell you more information about them. There's only one that's hidden or that you can't open up. All the rest of them you can open. So if you care, that's what's around you and that's what's going on. All right, let me do this. All right, so any other questions about the house? Let me move. So you have the weird things in the middle of the hallways are coat racks. Like I said, they were there for other reasons. Control Z when the doors were different, but that's my mistake. And I'll probably just move them at some point. Let's see. Click. All right, so if there's no more other questions, it is just after the noon hour. However, you guys have been pushing and going for quite a while. So if you wanted to relax and kick back, uh, leading into a long rest, you're welcome to.
I'm back.
I was just asking what you guys wanted to do. Like I said, it's just afternoon, but you've been going and pushing and traveling and meeting with people. So you're welcome to take a long rest if you wanted to relax, kick back in the living room for a while, and then
Yeah.
take a long rest if you want.
Tuss would definitely suggest that we take the day to rest and kind of get our schedule back to some semblance of normal. Um, but I think we might want to figure out where what we're doing tomorrow or planning on doing going forward. I know we talked about it, but we haven't necessarily decided on anything. I want to go back and hunt that witch, or hag, from the Burning Keep. Um,
I do as well. I have a feeling that if we don't tie up this loose end, it'll come back to haunt us.
yeah, plus, there's that. I remember, or we found something along the lines of she was expecting guests. And I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me. If we're lucky, we'll be able to catch them both, whoever her guests are, and her. But I don't know if we'll be able to at this point.
Well,
We'll just have to try.
Genesis had already mentioned that the way the magic map had been set up, there were spots for 3 people, 3 magic users, and the correspondence mentioned magic users on their way, and you had run into 3 magic users from, 2 magic users plus the hag would be 3. And you had met several of them from the south that you guys ended up killing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but she's still out
That
there,
makes more
and she
sense.
can still
Okay.
do damage.
Yeah. At the very least, one of those people I think is too dangerous to be left alive. Um,
Too dangerous
but
to be left alone, for sure.
yeah. Another thing I was thinking, since we're possibly going to be heading there, I'm probably going to stop by in the morning to the Adventurers Guild and see if I can pick up a quest that we could possibly do while we're in the area. That area. I think it might be nice to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Beyond that, I have ideas for things that we might want, or I would like to pursue, but not necessarily a way to pursue them. Actually, Kithri, you might have some possible ways to figure stuff out. Being rogue and you going off to your little club every once in a while. Uh, please don't tell them I said that. No, no, it's just funny. um, but I think we might want to try track down Tobald again. He still got away with that book, and we don't know where that happened, or possibly that necromancer who we haven't, heard of for a while. He kind of fell off the grid after we lost his trail.
I think I know.
And while this sounds a little more radical, we could also spy on Rosseret. Because I'm pretty sure he has a place here in the city somewhere. I don't remember where, and we know the necromancer was working for him at some point, specifically to get that book that was stolen by Tobald.
I admit I'm a bit hesitant to go looking for more quests when we have so many loose ends that are unresolved.
Honestly, well, for that case, I was more thinking ask if they had anything in the area that would be we might be able to do on the way. If not, not worry about it. That was my thought process there. But no, I do understand what you mean. But I think I might still ask to see what the options are. I don't know. Gimbal, Kithri, you have any thoughts?
I
Sorry, I am
okay.
trying to figure out my computer right now, so I'm not going to have very many thoughts at all. Nope.
I do not have any specific concerns. I just just want to keep doing everything we can to further our reputation and help people.
Fair enough. Hey,
So
Kithri, do you think you
also,
could possibly put? Oh, sorry.
did any of you want to do anything within the city?
Right.
What happened to the living room? Hold on. So be thinking about that as well. If there are places you want to go, things you wanted to do um, within the city while you guys are here.
Sure, it might benefit us stocking up. Jen, I remember you using a scroll of some kind on the hag when we last fought her. Something that helped.
Yes, it was a scroll of find person, I believe.
Okay, all right. No, no. I just remember you using something that was helpful in tracking her down. Like it might benefit us to grab another one of those. Maybe two. We can find them. I actually did have another.
Unfortunately, it does seem she has the ability to, travel between planes, so that's difficult.
Yeah, if we could find a way to like keep her from doing that, that would, you know, probably be for the best. But I don't know if we do, like. I don't know. Is there magic to cancel out magic like that?
Counter spell.
I guess. Well, I don't know.
No,
Well, if you have thoughts or
if I remember correctly, I think the hag was using like magic circles and stuff. So like this was stuff that was like, you know, backup plans upon backup plans upon backup plans, if I remember correctly.
fair enough. I don't know. If you have any thoughts for possible ways to just counter some of the abilities she displayed, or even things that might give us another edge,
Well,
it might be good
personally,
to stock up on those. Um,
Mantha personally does not have the expertise in D&D magic to know if there's anything that would fit that criteria.
I don't have anything specific in mind either. That's why I'm leaving it up to you. I'm going to play the barbarian. No.
Cleric but didn't learn how to cleric, okay?
I mean, you went to college. You're a bard as well.
I went to a bard college, not a cleric college or whatever.
I mean, what bard college doesn't teach you how to keep people around so you can continue to insult them?
Not forcefully. Normally, you make them want to keep you around.
So you can insult them?
Or I just like insulting people anyway.
Fair enough. Sorry. Got a little off topic there. I don't know. At the very least, I think I want to try and stop into a potion shop or a couple of magic shops that they have around here. There is actually something that I wanted to try and get a replacement of that I used up in our last fight with that hag. That I thought was nice to have with you. A potion of speed. It might be nice to see if I could find another one, but it might be out of my price range. But we'll see. Actually, it might not be as I double check my gold. And the price of said item. If I can find it. No, actually, I probably could afford another one. That was it. Yeah. Well, no, that depends. Actually, no, that might still be on my price range. Sorry. Yeah. Anyone else got anything they might want to go look for in the city? Like buy, just look into. I don't know if.
Well, first off, this kitchen has no honey. We need to remedy that ASAP.
Fair enough. I think
Just
actually
because
I
of
might
that
go in.
character trait from session 1 that Jen puts honey on all over food.
Actually, thinking of stuff, I might want to also sell a couple things that I got that I'm just not using.
All right, I do want to take a moment. You should, if you would be so kind as to look at your chat window. If you're like me, I cover up the top of my chat window, so you may need to move away the combat tracker. But you'll see there's a little button that says GM.
Yeah, the new chat feature for the GM one.
If you would click that, and then send me something either you're looking for or that you want in your house or in your bedroom or just in general. Also, if you right click, I don't have a character selected, but let me double check that. I don't want to misspeak. Do that, close that, move this. It is not double. Yes, so it is right click. So if you right click on somebody's face in the portrait, you will see a radio menu pop up. If you look at 9 o'clock, you can then click whisper, and that will pop up to that person. And when you send it, this is what it looks like. You should see a pop-up on your screen. For me, it's usually up in the top left of the screen. You can type right in there and reply to them directly. You can also this does not supersede the way you were doing it before. So if you do want to, however, there are several different ways to whisper to somebody. You can keep doing what you have been doing all along, but this is a new thing that makes it more obvious. A lot of times in combat, especially, I may whisper to somebody, and then people are rolling and stuff is happening, so they may miss a whisper I send them. So this way, it's a lot harder to miss a whisper. Any questions on that? I still haven't received any whispers from any of you.
Nope.
I sent everything
Perfect.
before that I wanted, and you didn't have any of them, so I don't have anything I really need. I've already bought the healing potions I intended to get down.
You may have looked for stuff, but you didn't say anything to me.
I did, and you told me they weren't available.
missed something about.
All the things that I did are not in any of the books we have that I have access to here.
Right.
I
That
didn't
doesn't mean
realize
they
it
don't
once I
exist.
actually researched them. Well, I didn't think they were available in this game.
They can absolutely be available depending on what they are, what you want.
Oh, you didn't. I gave you a list and you never responded, so
I didn't
it was
get a
pretty
list.
extensive with it.
I heard you said something, but I never
No,
got
I
an
typed
actual
it all
list of
up
the
and sent you a
lists.
whisper several times. Actually, said I even detailed what they were and what books they came from. All right, I will have to research.
If you want to make a note,
I just assumed since you didn't give me a positive response that they weren't available because the only thing you said is that they're not in any of the books we have. So.
if you want to make a note, I can.
It's going to take me a while. I've got to look all
I
that
can
stuff back up again.
load the
It's
note,
in my
or just tell me what you
browser
want to
history.
do. So if you're looking to still do something to do more damage or do more, increase your spell slots. I mean, if you ask instead of saying I want the rod of Orcus, just tell me in general, this is what I would like to do. Have something that gives me this power, and then that might also be
Yeah,
one way of doing it. So
yeah. There's basically 4 items in all of D&D that were designed for warlocks, and that's it. So everything else is somewhat generic. There are ways to do some of the things that those things give benefits for, but there's almost nothing outside of that. But those
like I said,
things are awesome.
instead of going through the trouble trying to find what they do, if you just tell them what they did, we can. That might be a way of going. Because if we've already determined they don't exist in 5e, then there's
Oh,
no
they
point in
exist in
going through.
5e. They just don't exist in any of the books we have. They're all in. One of them is in the Curse of Strahd. One is in. One I think of Forgotten Realms. One I think 2 of them are Forgotten Realms, and one's of a. So look, that's what I researched is where they were found, what books they came from, and everything. Yeah, Forgotten Realms is the Robe of the Archmagi.
All right. So if you guys have any questions on how the Whisper works, I've gotten one from Mantha and Nick, so you guys have an idea of where it pops up and what happens and how it looks. So it's there. Hopefully you guys like it and enjoy it. Like I said, the main thing is so that if it happens in less of a chance of me missing or you guys missing whispers. All right, and one thing I didn't really go into a whole lot, I had forgot to tie up one of the loose ends that you guys had never really asked the right questions of the right people. While you were, we'll do a little retcon. While you were talking to the city council, they had asked you about the second group, and they described the second. So what had happened was Gimbal and Cromwell and a couple of soldiers went down below. When they didn't show up, they hired this other adventuring group to go find them. They never came back either, and then they hired you. Well, you guys had never really asked a whole lot of questions about this second group, and when you asked questions about the group, you found out there were 2 half orcs, a male and a female, and a human male um, were part of that group, and then there was also a female. And when you compared the descriptions that were given to you, you found out that it was actually the leaders of the people that you met. So there was the half orc lieutenant, the priestess, one of the people in the cafeteria room was the other half orc. And
Mm.
as far as you can tell, Isendor, or Ivandor rather, Ivandor was the other one. So
Huh.
they were
So,
masquerading as an adventuring group and to try to find out what, and they were sent to go rescue you guys.
okay. Fair enough.
All right, so
Hmm.
Jen, did you put them in? Somebody carry them in one of the bags of holding? I don't remember.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure I have at least some of it.
Okay.
But I don't have my notes because I'm on a different computer.
What we talked
So
about?
I don't I wrote it down, but like I don't have the notes.
Okay. Are they in Fantasy Ground notes or on a different note taking device?
They were probably on Fantasy Grounds. I might have written them down IRL though because I I'm inconsistent.
Yeah, I don't see a way to share. Can I? Well, maybe. Let me see. Does this work? Here you are. Did you get a pop-up?
I did.
All right, so I will throw you. Are these the note? Do you not have access to these? Is what you're saying because you're on a different computer? Am I understanding
Yeah.
you correctly? Okay, so you have two more. I'll throw those to you real quick.
Hmm.
Actually, I know this is not it, so we don't care about that. All right, so those are all the notes made
Oof, I
by
think
Mantha8225.
oof.
So I don't know if that helps or not, but there you go. You
It does
also,
have them, but
Genesis would, and Gimbal, well, especially Gimbal, you would know scrolls can also be obtained. They are typically cheaper than potions simply because they require you to be able to cast them. But um,
mm,
that is an alternative. So, for example, a potion of haste or speed starts at 5 grand and goes up, whereas a scroll of haste is only a couple hundred. But you have to have, Tusk can't read a scroll of haste, whereas he can drink a potion of speed. So as you guys are making your plans and thinking about pricing, that might be an option.
Mhm.
So Genesis, did you want to return those things right this moment, or did you want to relax and get some rest, heal up? Um, all three of you are hurt. Oh no, you're not. Tusk. Yes. So all three of you are hurt still. Um, what was your thought about that, Genesis?
I mean it doesn't have to be like right this second now, but like if we don't do it, I'm gonna forget. You know? Like
Hmm.
I'm lucky that I remembered at all.
You what?
I'm lucky that I remembered at all.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, on this computer, and Discord only works if I have Discord like open, if I'm like clicked into Discord, so it doesn't work if I click on Fantasy Grounds. It's kind of annoying.
I had the issue at one point for a couple sessions. I don't remember what I did to fix it, but yeah, I agree. I've been there, and it's really annoying. So I know what you're talking about.
So I've got a pop out just pinned in the corner that I click into every time I want to talk.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so sorry.
Mhm.
And basically, what Sven and I were talking about was that when we were underground, and we were, looting things, we found some stuff that we recognized as being like listed on a uh like a poster or something. Uh that was like, hey, these items were stolen and we are looking for them.
Oh, are you talking about like the barrels of food and such, or like actual
Not the
items?
barrels. There were like I think one that I have in my inventory is like uh silk embroidered robes, I think. I think that was among them. But there was like some stuff that like uh,
Okay.
sorry, I clicked back into Discord or into
Mhm.
Fantasy Grounds because I don't normally have the problem. I think among my stuff is like silk embroidered robes. I think I remember that being one of the things that was on the list. I think we found a few more. But I don't remember what was on that list because yeah. Uh
I honestly do not remember much along those lines either. I know we stole a bunch of uniforms that were military uniforms from an Amen general that are worth 300 gold collectively that I took that I'm planning on selling.
oh yeah, no, fuck that guy. Keep those, yeah. Good for you.
Yeah. Basically, I have 3 different items that I'm planning on selling, which is like one's a +1 longbow that I've never used. One is a +1 short sword that I've never used.
Yeah, the +1 longbow you just got, right? Because it
Well,
was
actually, no.
Alice and then we
Well,
gave
yeah,
it to you.
I just got that, and I also have a different bow that is the Aaron Yes longbow, which
That's the
I'm actually
one that
planning on keeping because that's the one
that
that's
was the
cooler.
one that was for Callus.
Yeah,
That was it.
yeah, that it was that one.
So the
I'm
first
planning on
list
keeping that for now.
you sent me, Gimbal, I have all of those.
Okay, so you know them. Okay.
Staff of the
I,
Magi, for example, starts at 50 grand, goes up
yeah, I know.
from there.
It's expensive as hell.
Um,
The robe, I don't know about the robe, and the rod is varying levels. So it depends
yes,
on where we're at there.
one,
And then
two,
same
three,
with
and
this
four.
ring of the rings of spell storing, the same levels. They have levels of, I think. I think that's Player's Handbook one.
The robe of the Archmagi also starts at 50,000 and goes up.
Yep. No, it's a frustration I had anytime I played a warlock because there was just literally nothing for them that was geared for them that really helped their specific things, except for Eldritch Blast. There's different things that help Eldritch Blast specifically, but other than that, there's very little that actually helps you with all the rod, the packs, and all that kind of stuff, except leveling up in general. But equipment wise, everything else had specialized equipment except that poor warlock. And his was all of his stuff was so ridiculously expensive. You had to wait till you're like level 15 or 20. By then, you didn't need that crap anyway.
So,
Anyway,
am I missing? I'm not sure I'm understanding what you're asking for. Then, did you want? You're both. So, did
whatever
you
I
want
can
the
get,
staff of the
whatever
Magi and the rod, or are you looking for just stuff for your
I
broader
can't get the
package?
staff of the Magi right now. It's just way too expensive unless you find some quest that we can go find something like that. Same with the robe. Those are dream lists. The rod and the spell and the ring are things that we probably could get. I just need to know where they are, what the availability is, and what the cost is if they're here. But that's my entire dream list. I'm a little behind. Usually at the very beginning of a campaign, I will give a DM my future dream list someday. If we last long enough in this campaign, this is all I want. Everything else is just gravy along the way. But I didn't do that with this.
All right, so Kithri, Ashley, as you're looking at the map, let me know if you have any questions. Let me throw you onto the map as well.
Thanks. I finally got my driver installed, I think.
Well, can you see the map and stuff? I mean, I show you connecting. You grabbed your
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, I can see everything. Okay, now I have the map open. Sorry.
She's more saying that it may or may not be installed correctly.
Excuse me.
I'm fancy.
All right, so if somebody wants to whisper to Kithri so she can see what I'm talking about, and if Ashley, if you open up your chat, where you can, well, I mean, not open it up, but if you look at the chat box on the top right corner, there's a little GM button. So you can click that, and it'll then open up a chat to me. And that's the new thing I was talking about.
Kind of cool. And they still have the one in the dice tower, which is interesting.
Wow,
I get two
that's so
places to
neat.
Yeah,
click to the
there's
GM directly.
probably 3 different ways you can whisper to somebody by typing stuff, dragging stuff. There's lots of different ways, but this way, at least, like I said, it's all the other ways. It still only shows up in the chat, and if we're in combat and stuff, that can get buried pretty quick. So this way, I prefer it just as a DM to make sure
Wow.
I don't miss whispers from you guys, and you don't miss whispers from me. So
when it shows up on your screen, it shows up somewhere other than the chat box when it gets sent to you?
yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Here, I never replied to any of yours, so I will.
Okay. And it gives me a box to type back into. So it's like a separate chat is forming. I like that.
Yes, Honey Badger just jumped in and said hi. So yes, they're deciding what they're doing. This is their house, Bronze Home. This is where they live now, with their different rooms, and from the kitchen and library, bathroom, living room, with a bar, and the bedrooms, practice room.
There's two bars. There's one on the floor and there's one in the corner.
Yep.
There's the bar on the floor and there's a bar in the corner. There's a bar rug on the floor.
Dead bar. And
Dead
then
bar.
this area, they're deciding what they're going to do with these. So it looks good now that you blinged it out. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, and some of them, I mean, you can zoom in and see all the little
Yes, Pimp Your Hideout has been hard at work.
dishes in the sink and stuff. Got the rack with the utensils and stuff. There's lots of little tricks, and they also even have their own torture rack if they want to torture somebody. Put them on the rack. So yeah, a couple coat racks, some desks with various bottles and potions and stuff. So yeah, it's very cool. So yeah, they've been deciding what they want to do.
Pardon me.
So that's what the deal is. So you guys getting ready to, like I said, I've been trying to push them to make a decision. At least take a rest. So Genesis, did you want to go wander around and return the stuff today, or are you guys gonna relax in your new digs and go to sleep?
Tusk will take the rest of the day to relax, get acquainted with the bar, maybe a quick trip to fill up the bar, and then, go to sleep. But like, just relax and take his time, and he'll deal with everything else the next coming day.
Meanwhile, I feel like Jen probably takes the opposite approach in terms of she wants to take care of things now so that tomorrow she doesn't have to worry about them.
As blood is continuing to spurt from her wounds and such.
Actually, that's true. She's pretty hurt. Never mind. She's gonna take a nap. She's gonna take a long nap.
We've just spent several days underground fighting through lots of enemies. And now you have a chance to sleep in a nice bed, and you choose to go shopping. Yeah, happens.
Well, she did get a massage. They sort of
Mhm,
worked
true.
around the wounds, and
Fair enough.
she did get mani pedi and spent some time
Yeah,
in a.
she went. She got a massage and then like soaked in the spa. That's all they did.
Fair enough. Mhm.
That's a prancing goat in. Okay, good. All right, so at about 12:30, you guys hear a knock on the door.
At 12:30 at night, or like in the at midday.
No, it was noon when you guys got here. So you guys
So
have just started. It's been half an hour.
okay, just confirming. Ugh. Tuss starts walking towards the door if no one else does. Kind of stretching as he walks. Probably has a mug in his other hand. And he, opens up the door to see who knocked.
All right, so you see a tabaxi standing out there, and he is sort of tips his head. I am Aldous, and I understand that this property has been recently obtained, and I wish to offer my services as a butler and a guard. I understand that you are the Bronze Fangs, also known as the Heroes of Nashkel, and so I
Mhm.
understand you won't be here all the time, and so I wish to see if my services will be of use to you all.
Can I?
Well, I was actually expecting us to have to go out and interview a lot of people. Would you like to come in for an interview? I'm pretty sure everyone is here to participate if you're all right with that.
Absolutely, I thank you
I
very much.
Mhm.
can I do an insight check?
You are in the living room.
And I will lead him, close the, let him in, close the
Okay.
door, and then lead him to the living room where I
All
will
right.
expect
So
everyone else to be. And I will,
everybody give me a insight check.
Mhm.
One tower, please.
Yep.
So he says he's good with weapons. You see he's holding, he has a rapier at his side. He said he also is familiar with a hand crossbow. That at the last place he worked, um, they had two hand crossbows that were positioned throughout the house that he was have access to. He's very nimble and fast, and so he would be able to get to the weapon very quickly if he needed a bow. Norm or although the last place he worked was much more open than this one, so he thinks the rapier will work enough as far as protection is concerned. Um, but he's also very familiar with running a household if you guys do get other people that work for you. Um, and he is happy to sleep on the roof and would not, as long as he was able to use the facilities inside, that's all he would need as far as places to stay and things like that.
All right. I would guess one question that Tusk would ask would be a couple questions. One, um, what is general rate? Ideally on a monthly rate. um, and who was his like
References.
how did his last employment um, go? I guess trying to figure out like his
Why is he
long
seeking
term
employment?
employments, or did his last employer possibly end early for whatever reason?
Was he a lousy guard, and his person he was guarding got killed? Was it an important information?
To be clear, I am standing in the presence of greatness. I would not be here to protect you all. You all would be much more effective at protecting yourselves than I ever would be. I am here to protect the house when you are not here. Um,
No, of course.
and the rate that I would be asking is as for once we agree upon the duties, then the rate I would be asking is 1 gold piece a week with 1 extra gold piece paid on the first of the month. So a total of 5 gold a month.
You living
Okay.
here?
Let's
All right.
see.
Yep.
All right. So as far
Yep.
Tusk, he's a little hard to read. He's a cat, so you keep getting distracted by his tail that swishes every once in a while, or um, uh,
His ears
these weird
swinging.
thoughts that come into your head about does it purr if you try to pet him and these things. So it's a little hard to read the insight. Um, Genesis, you are almost positive that he is being honest and telling the truth. You can tell Kithri and Genesis, you're able to tell by the way he holds himself. He's very professional. Um, you can, you all can tell from his demeanor and the way he walks, and that he is physically fit and well. He doesn't. It looks like he can use the sword. Genesis, you notice there are calluses on um, his uh, left hand. The way he's holding his way his weapon is sheathed. He's a southpaw, and so you can tell that he has at least held his weapon a lot. Whether or not he's any good at it, you're not positive. You haven't seen him spar, but uh,
I
he
mean, you
he's
only need to hold a weapon to scare off an intruder. Let's be real here.
correct. But he appears nobody giving you. He doesn't appear to be giving you any kind of. Sorry, guys. So Rob just raided. Welcome, Raiders.
Hey,
Hello.
Raiders.
Oh, that's right.
Yay!
And Honey Badger wants to make sure that he's not going to climb on your counters and claw up your furniture.
You know
Just a
what? If
backseat.
he does claw up the furniture, that's coming out of his monthly pay, so I think he
We-
might choose not to.
We can just buy him a scratching post. It's fine.
That's
But
right.
yes,
We can buy a
hello.
scratching post. So
Right, we
Robin.
make him a nice little apartment on the roof.
So Robin 5e is here as well. You should check her out at some point. She does live D&D. She's one of those rare animals in the world that's a very good female DM. More and more of them are popping up these days, but she was doing it when it wasn't cool. She was also a gamer. She's been playing a whole bunch of stuff. So
Props to you.
for forever. So check her out. She's got some cool stuff on her stream as well. Howitzer says Genesis needs a hammer. Okay. All right. So yeah, this is their new. The city gifted them this map as you guys are looking at it. This is their home away from home, or their only home, I guess, whatever you want to call it, hideout. It's in a
Jen
big
does have
city.
a home, so this is her second home. Now we are no longer murder hobos because we all are not hobos.
We're
Yes,
just
we're
murderers.
murdered house
We are
owners.
murderers,
Murder
but
house
we are
owners.
not
That's right.
murder hobos.
Not murder hobos. Very good. I like that. Um, there we are. So yeah. So we're taking a. Oh, Fury Fate says that's a sweet, sweet map. Thank you. Built it myself. Uh,
Yeah.
He
we're
spent so
Good
much
job.
leaving
time on
this
it.
big empty
Good.
area here for them to decide what they want to do with it. Talk,
Mhm.
redeem to drink water. So thank you for that. Um, anyway, so we were just looking at a tabaxi just knocked on the door, offered his services as a butler, and so they're interviewing the tabaxi. Um, and
Mhm.
so the last thing
Yeah.
that he mentions is that right now he is not employed because he had a mother who was ill, and so she asked for him to be there during her last days. So he moved back to Nashkel, helped take care of her, and by the time it took longer than he expected, so they had replaced him at his former thing.
That sucks.
Okay.
Kinda
Genesis,
rude.
Mhm.
you think that's about 80% true? There might be something he's leaving out, but you think that most of it is true.
All right. And you said you were fine with having a little setup on the roof, right? If you were to stay here.
Yes, the last place I had, we had a small, uh, sort of like a lean-to and such, where I could protect me from the elements.
I mean,
Um,
if we
yeah.
have an extra room,
I'm sure we might be able to construct something a little bit more than a lean-to.
Unfortunately, we did just move in. We have a couple of areas that are a little need touching up, but yeah, no. In general, guarding the house, ending intruders from breaking in, generally cleaning up some dusting, um, make sure that if I remember correctly, our neighbors are a greasy cafe. Um, Make sure that the grease for the wall that we share with the greasy cafe over there doesn't leak through the walls. Um, yeah, I was planning on having like a little pet little tree plant that might need watering. Um, that will be the general duties. Possibly shopping for some food while we're in town, just to make sure our stuff is stocked. Those are the general duties. But
Well, I'm not sure about this babysitting the next door neighbors. However, I am very good at maintaining a household to include making sure you don't run out of the basic necessities, such as food, things to clean yourself with, uh, and that list can be expanded upon as necessary. It all depends on what you all consume on a monthly basis, but I'll ensure that nothing runs out as long as the uh, and
funds
I
are
will
provided.
exactly.
So
I do not
I'm
cook. I do not clean beyond cleaning up after myself. I will not make a mess, but I do not clean up after others, and I do not cook. But other than that, I will ensure that the your place is protected and also that everything runs smoothly.
Right
so
up.
I'm going a bit meta with this. Uh because on one hand I'm like I don't like trust something that just comes up, but on the other hand I know that Sven is a benevolent and kind GM and like we had been talking about this last week. So like
Well,
And
if
for
you
being meta, nobody has asked how he knew anything, and that you guys needed help anyway.
He said
To be honest, I don't think it's
heard that
crossed
we
us
had
line.
just moved in.
Yeah, we got it like a half hour ago.
Yeah.
Is the thing though? I don't know.
Okay, but like,
But I,
Personally, I
rumors
think
have
Tusk is
spread
just
faster.
yeah.
I do not wish to put you on the spot. I will return at. I will be at. I'm currently at the Prancing Goat Inn. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the establishment, but
Yeah.
I can. If you can send me a message there. If I do not hear from you by this time tomorrow, then I will continue my search for employment elsewhere. But I hope you will find that the services I provide will be definitely worth the price. And
Yes.
as he concludes his spiel, you hear a knock on the door. It's not quite as loud as it was the first time, but you hear a knock on the door.
Yes. Well,
See somebody
thank you for
else
your
with
time.
the same damn offer.
Honestly, might well knowing Sven. But Tusk is probably like, yes. Well, thank you. We'll be sure to let you know either way. Thank you for letting us have the time to consider your offer, and we'll lead him back to the door. And it's like, I will go and check and see who else is knocking on our door. And basically head back to the, lead him out and open the door and see who's coming in while also letting our new tabaxi friend out.
What was his name, by the way?
Did he
Did we?
tell us his name?
Yes, he did. Give me just a
Maybe.
moment here. I'm talking with chat. All right, everybody, give me a percentile, please.
15.
Aldous.
Wait. Did someone?
All right,
Magic
Genesis.
Surge.
Put that in the note.
Yeah, Genesis. I need a.
Wow.
I know, it's not letting me.
Oh, okay. All right.
It finally let me pick him up, and then it just.
Yeah. All right. So, who do you want to roll for you then? Oh, there it goes.
It finally
All right. So,
did.
Gimbal, you are the lucky recipient of Rob Toohey's Magic Surge.
Of course I
Oh.
am.
Oh.
Because
I suddenly don't want to be in the same room as him. I wonder why that is.
I wonder.
my percentage dice do not ever go under 50%, so I'm always screwed if I do a percentage roll.
Gimbal
So-
starts acting a little bit weird, and Jen just automatically puts Kithri behind her.
Yes, if you're wondering why they're freaking out, his last Magic Surge forced him to have someone try to eat his finger, and because he's a warlock, he then cast command on one, or suggestion, one of the two. So he had one of his party members eat his fingers, two of his fingers. So it was very disturbing for everybody involved. So
And then the
Yes.
whole time, he was acting like the victim, like, you bit off my fingers, yeah, and you made me bite
I
off my fingers.
was the victim. I was forced to do this too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Which actually reminds me, like last session,
Kithri is
Tusk also got
definitely
that.
traumatized by
They're the magic. They're the source of magic. The flow. I was influenced by the force.
Yes.
All right, so go ahead and give me a D10,000. So that's /DIE space 1D10,000 with no comma.
So,
And the way that works for those watching, I roll one, he rolls one, and I take I choose between the two what I think will be most interesting.
Hmm.
Okay, that's interesting. And what were you saying, Matha?
So, like, did we open the door and just Rob Tui standing on the other side?
That's right, Rob Tui. Magic surge. Poof. Okay, these are both interesting. This is um he says he's a secret stealth wizard. So it's a little hard to choose. Okay. I do need to check my calendar because I do remember. Okay, yes. So last week we also had a magic surge where all swords within a mile of Tusk were
Went
dulled,
dull.
so they cannot maintain an edge, and that's still going on because that just happened a couple minutes ago,
Yeah,
as they walk into the
relatively.
house. Okay, so um, you hear a knock on the door, Tusk. You get ready to turn and go answer the door when you feel some weird thing on your head, and Gimbal and Genesis and Kithri, you all feel this like wetness on your head, and Aldous, the Tabaxi, also sort of looks around trying to figure out as this honey starts pouring down your bodies all over your shoulders, and this you hear a
Wait,
pop,
what did you
pop,
say?
pop, pop, pop,
Coming
pop all around you, and these feathers come floating down, and your head and your shoulders and part about 6 inches over down your arms and chest are all covered with honey and feathers. And you all hear some screams from outside. Um,
Mhm.
and Tusk, as you go and open the door, you see this young woman standing there. She's also covered in honey and feathers. And as you look down the street, you see everybody you can see within sight is covered with honey and feathers.
What?
Uh,
What?
Yeah, Rob says, "Hi, honey." Love it.
Um,
Love it.
at least it wasn't like just us and we walked to a prospective like employee and they're just covered in honey and feathers.
Well, thankfully, prestidigitation can clean, so Jen's like, uh,
It's going to take a
Uh,
while because you can only do 1 square foot, but yes, you can slowly start to unstick yourself from this grossness.
she's like, this is great on food. On people, not so much. Like her hair. Have you thought about her hair? Gosh.
So as so you're standing there, and this young girl has what looks like a tuft of grass. I don't know the name of the weed, but there's a weed that grows that has this little, looks almost like a wire brush on the top that you clean um, glasses with or something. Um, you can pull it up, and the whole thing just comes right out of the stalk, and the end of it is yellow, and you stick it in your mouth and you chew on it as this little piece of grass hangs from your mouth. I can't describe it any better than that, but I've done it for
I
years.
I
Um,
think it might just be grass. I could be wrong.
but it's not blades. But yes, it is a type
It's
of
like the
grass.
seeding of
Yes. Yep.
grass.
Anyway, so she's got one of those. Um, she's chewing on it, and she's trying to, and she looks up and sees you, and sort of takes it out of her mouth and says, "Hello. Name is Joba. Uh, you uh, boy, you're big, huh? Um, I'm here about the job to be a maid. I mean, housekeeper, cleaner.
Kid three. Did
All
Kid
right.
three hear
Well,
that from
come
the
on
living
in. The
room?
others are inside. And we can have an interview for you.
Uh, did you do this? Do you do this to everyone that comes here? Am I gonna
No,
have to clean this up?
Well,
no.
um,
I'll start with that.
doesn't
No, but come in. We'll
doesn't
go where
normally
everyone else is.
happen, but as part of the interview, how would you go about cleaning it up?
Well, well, dear, honey is a little bit of a problem. If it's on the floor, though, if you pour some salt on it, it gets all bunches all together, and it's much easier to clean up. Same thing with oil or blood. Just flour or salt makes it really easy to clean up there.
Hmm.
If you have some hot water as well, that'll help with this sticky type things, sticky substances. You can maybe get a rag and that'll help clean up if you heat up some water, that'll help clean it up. Uh, oh,
And
you
question,
must
but
be,
she herself doesn't really know all that much about cleaning. So she's like, "Yeah, this kind of tracks.
yeah.
This sounds right. This sounds like somebody who knows her stuff."
You're the bard, huh? Wow. And she sort of looks at Gimbal. Oh, yeah. Oh, well. Hello, good sir.
So Kid three like looks back and forth between the new girl and the tabaxi, and she's like, so
I think
we've
we let
been
the
here for about
taxi
half an hour. How did you guys hear about a
this
a
job
job
open.
opening here?
And the Aldous has left already, right?
No, he is.
No.
He got covered in feathers and honey and was still standing there when the door knocked.
Hmm.
But he's
Gimbal is going to excuse himself and move to the bathroom, turn on that shower.
okay. So you go ahead and he should be able to move about the cabin.
Mhm.
But Aldous will at this point, as you go to answer the door, he says, I will show myself out, and I hope to hear from you this afternoon. And he sort of walks out the north door.
Mhm. Yep. So,
Yeah, Honey Badger wants to
Joba,
know. It says to ask them if they're comfortable hiding bodies.
If you were to find a body here, what would you do?
how do you best dispose of a dead body?
But anyway, getting back to your question, she says, "Oh, well, the judge said that he had recently he had sold his property. He said when he sold it, he would let us know. And he's familiar with the size of this place, and uh, that the new owners would probably want some people to come help."
Right.
Insight.
And you were, yes. And you said you were interested in a maid position for cleaning up, correct?
Oh yes, I'm a very good cleaner. I can't cook, but I'm very good at cleaning things. I've been working at on my home blank. The
Oh, I had disadvantage there, but
I've
hold
been
on.
working at the Happy Horny Toad for the last year and a half. And honestly, I just looking for a place that's not quite so rowdy and doesn't quite smell like alcohol all the time.
Tusk glances over to the bar
Kid
and
three glances at Tusk.
but sorry. Fair enough.
But um, I'm used to making 2 gold a month, and I have a place to stay, so I wouldn't need to be staying here. But I would be willing to come in and probably I'd have to be sure, but I think I could probably clean this place in like 3 hours a day, and I would be here just after the noon meal, and I can come clean, and then we can see how that works.
All right. All right. Anyone else have any questions they wanted to ask?
And go ahead and give me insights.
Yes, I believe I already threw mine.
And Joba is a human. Well, you did for Aldous. I haven't received any for. Oh, there it is. Tusk. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I had stuff covering stuff, so I couldn't actually confirm for a moment. Oh, right. Yeah, I have exhaustion.
Both of you are both a little distracted by the feathers and the honey. Drips into your eyes and stings, and Genesis, you're going through the process of cleaning yourself and making sure you get all your hair done and stuff like that as you're asking these questions. But as far as you can tell, it's she seems legitimate. She's a human, and she looks to be in her early to late teens. It's a little hard to tell.
Right. And that was 2 gold a month, she said, was her service cost.
Mhm.
I direct everybody to the chat box for a moment.
I did see that.
K3 will throw her dagger at him, but like not try to hit him, but like
Just buries it in the wall right next to
buries
him.
it in the wall next to him. Like, get covered up. There is a young girl here. No one wants to see that.
Jen like got a glance and just looked away. He doesn't even warrant a second glance.
Do you want me to roll something to see how well I do at throwing it?
Yeah, you can do a
And if
regular
I
attack roll.
actually do that, okay.
Comes walking out of his bathroom, gets like just stabbed with a dagger.
Well,
specify she was doing it to scare him, not to like.
yeah, not to
No, I
hit
know.
him.
Yeah.
Nice.
It just living with roommates, eh? All right. Will clean.
Oh yeah. So your dagger whizzes right by him and sinks into the wall, and you realize you guys may need to get the service of a good woodworker to help.
It's like you just need some wood glue and like you just need to sand it down.
Or wand of
Alrighty.
mending. Give the maid a wand of mending.
Actually, quite possibly, I might have invest in a wand of mending just for the house. For the Actually, that's not a bad idea.
It's really fun.
All right, and Kithri, go ahead and give me a D10,000. Thanks
Oh
to
boy.
another
How do I roll a D10,000 again?
/DIE space 1D 10,000. So yes, we are using, for those of you watching, we are using the NetLibrum random magic effects tables.
I'm not looking forward to this. Okay.
It is available. I want to say it's on the Forge as well. Because one of the insane, it's actually a friend of mine, I know him, play with him a lot, went through and put all 10,000 effects in a chat usable by Fantasy Grounds. There There we go. So what happens is when one of you redeem it, I I roll it, and then the character rolls it as well, and I pick one of the two. All right, so where'd it go? Quick, there it is.
And Sven, you can ignore the thing I sent you for now. I just sent it so I wouldn't forget.
Okay. Unfortunately, again, if we're metagaming, no. Not for this. All right.
Fair enough.
Here it is.
Oh.
That would suck. Oh wow. For reasons unknown. Let's see. What was the other one? Here it is.
Oh no, is it that bad?
We're gonna scare off our potential employee because it's just the random magical
Okay.
effects that are happening.
Y'all.
So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do the one in the book. The one in the book is all lycanthropes within 1 mile are cured of their lycanthropy.
Oh.
The reason that would
Oh.
suck
Like,
is the
including
captain of the guard
the
is a
captain.
were-tiger.
That would suck.
Take
So the
away
city
his like
captain
special.
would now be a human.
Yeah, human. Or would he be a
Regular
tiger?
dude.
Which way did that one go?
No, he was a human
It was
first.
originally a human?
So-
Okay, gotcha.
No.
So,
So he wasn't a tiger bitten by a human. He was the other way around.
Falling out. I'm pretty sure I'm aware there's like some werebores somewhere in the city as well.
okay, so all right, so
I think it would be pretty funny, though.
yeah.
Oh,
God, just imagine.
all of a sudden the Thieves Guild sends a member to the house. Hey, we need Kithri for a minute, please. Some major developments in the city.
Yeah. Right.
all right, so those in
Mark
chat.
their lycanthropy with a sticky note saying Kithri did this.
How would you know that it was because of Kithri?
With a sticky note.
No,
That's what she
more
was
that
saying.
The sticky note spawns when they're cured.
Yeah, right. It's
All
just
right,
those
so I have
random things
added
for
the chaos burst effect to Kithri. As far as you know, nothing happens.
Cool.
So I wouldn't worry about it. It's fine.
What does that effect do?
Well,
We will
I'm
see.
sure we'll find out. Getting back to Joba.
All right, so yeah, so this woman's here and she's
What?
do you mind if I ever while you find people talk, do you mind if I use the sink?
Go right ahead. The bathroom's just right there.
All right, so she walks over to the kitchen sink and starts running the water and puts a little on the burner, and then starts trying to rub her, clean her hair out and get some of this off of her face at least and stuff.
Actually, I also like for once, Tussie's like wearing his like bearskin, jacket, leather jacket, which is probably also now covered like honey and feathers. It's like,
Excuse me.
So she said she cleans, not cooks, but she cleans. And the other guy said he doesn't clean as well, but he guards the place.
Are we going to have an entire staff, or are we going to try and find... Gimbal comes back dressed, by the way.
I'm not sure. I'm just laying out the options that I present. They come recommended by the previous owner, the judge, which personally is a positive in my book. Or there are less. I don't know. I think it's a good person to have being recommending you.
We just need someone that cooks.
Honestly, I'm fine if we don't have a cook per se. We could always hire Cromwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's you.
Yeah,
You'll
we
eat
need
anything,
someone
though.
who cooks. Gimbal
Some
says,
of us have
"Close the door."
tenderer stomachs than others.
Fair
All
enough.
right.
I was just
So,
planning on cooking myself.
all right. So, yes, with all the excitement going on and stuff, I had a alarm set on my clock. I need to reset it because, but regardless, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll come back at the top of the hour, or a minute or two afterwards. So,
Oh wow, it's almost already 9.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it took us a while to get started because we had the technical problems at the very beginning.
so
But
we'll
yeah,
be
That
right
is
back,
true.
guys. See you a couple minutes after the hour. Genesis, I'll go ahead and let you type it so we're not both typing the same thing. See you in a few minutes, guys. All
Those
right,
are
so
my
we are
favorite.
back. Let's see. Looks like only one person is gone. Is everybody here and ready to go? Let's throw out a little
Keep.
ready check.
But
Sorry,
Oh,
not
cool.
gone. Just
Never mind.
sitting here on my phone.
Zone.
Yeah, I have been. You talked about being tired. I am not the best when it comes to managing the amount of sleep I'm supposed to get, especially on days I work. I have set my alarm for my 10-minute break and fallen asleep by the time the alarm goes off. So I feel you. Yeah, I have been tired. Um,
Yeah, I've been up
all
since
right.
like 4 a.m. yesterday.
All right. And so,
4 a.m. yesterday?
Yeah, I've been driving all day.
yeah,
so
Oh,
most of
right, yeah.
the honey and thing you see, she's very efficient. What she does is not a lot of wasted movement, not a lot of moving back and forth. As she's turns off the little fire, and gets the hot stuff, takes a rag and gets it in the hot water. You can see it's steaming and stuff, and she's wiping her face using the water in this sink and stuff. Cleans most of her face and neck, uh, and head. Um, Her hair is still quite a mess, but at least her hands and her face are cleaned. Um, she leaves the drying rag and the pot she used up, on the drying rack as well, where the dishes go and such. So there's no mess that's left. And when she's finished, she scoops out the feathers that were she cleaned off of herself and throws them away.
So,
So
do we need to? I just bring this to the group here real quick. Do we need to maybe find out if the doorway is somehow trapped or cursed? Because every time someone comes in this place, something happens to one of us.
Well, not
that would be
every time.
awesome.
First time
That
she
was-
came in,
Every time a
I
stranger
was
comes
like,
in, wild
I
magic surge.
It happened when we first entered. Me and Tuss walked into the place, and everybody's swords went nuts.
put my points on the line. Like every time we have a stranger go through that door for the first time, just wild magic surge.
oh my gosh.
All right, so um,
Something's happening.
I have enough points. Let's be real here.
okay, yeah, yeah. Now that people are getting used to it, I might have to increase the price of the wild magic surge. Um, but
Good points though.
that's right. Just take people a little bit longer. All right, so as you're
So we have now employed the people on Twitch to guard the house. Anytime a stranger comes in,
that's right.
we get hit with a magic surge somewhere in the other part of the continent. It's like someone's in our house. Quick, let's go back.
We don't even need to hire servers. We pay
That's
them
right.
with entertainment.
And that's right. You guys can train or hire a mage to come in and do a teleportation circle on the floor, or be like the hag and have the teleportation circle be on the ceiling. And
Mm.
Not a bad call, actually.
Every
To have
time we
one here
teleport
that
in,
we
we
can
just
come back to.
have superhero land.
that's right. Just do
Right?
acrobatics to see if you can flip.
do
Do a
the
handstand.
I like it.
Feather
Do the Marble Avenger landing.
There's like a lever that goes to like a spike pit. Somebody forgets to switch it back.
All right, so she says, "Well, thank you for letting me clean up a bit. That honey was just getting a bit much. Um,
Here, let me help with your hair. I know it's worse than
so one thing I did want to mention, I forgot because Gimbal was the first was this is the first time Gimbal has gone into the bathroom. Is as you're stepping out, you see you guys have a mirror in there that before when you guys finished getting dressed, and and Gimbal, as you step into the bathroom to start getting undressed, you notice a movement, and you look over at the mirror, and you see yourself look exactly like you do, covered in feathers and honey and stuff. And then it sort of your reflection turns towards you a bit and pulls out you have a, let me double check, make sure I'm remembering right.
The mirror's haunted, y'all.
You don't. I thought you did. Okay, never
I
mind.
think the doorway is haunted more than anything.
All right, so it pulls out the dagger from its sheath, and it's staring at you, making eye contact with you the whole time. And as it pulls out the dagger and puts the point up to its temple, and then uses its other hand and just drives the dagger into its skull. And as it goes to collapse onto the floor, blood's pooling out.
Oh yeah.
That's just disturbing.
So what do you do?
Well, I would go over and cover the mirror.
With
Whatever's around. Towel.
Okay.
My nasty clothes.
All right, so you go.
Just cover the
You
mirror.
grab a towel, and as you go to cover the mirror, your reflection is normal. You see you're holding a towel there, and
Let's go. I'm still gonna
what?
keep it covered, and then I'll talk to the guys about it later.
Okay, and then so you're able to sort of jury rig.
Or
You guys
it's
hear
like
some
nothing to
pounding from
worry
the
about.
bathroom. Tink, 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 tink. Something's banging against the wall there.
So she threw her dagger at him not only because he was walking butt naked through the house, but also because he was being loud and doing weird things in the bathroom.
That's right. That's right. And he
Yeah.
didn't have a towel now because he used it to cover the mirror, so
Yeah.
That's
that's why
why
he couldn't
he's
cover
walking
himself.
butt naked. It all circles around.
All right.
So when I come back in, I will explain. I will mention the mirror thing.
Probably nothing to worry about. Just
So it's been probably 5 minutes. So at this point, Genesis, you will be mostly clean. There's a section of your back that you can't really see that still has one little strip where you did this side and this side, and don't realize that there's a little strip in the back with honey and feathers going down the back.
realize next time she sits down.
That's right. Sits down or takes your jacket off or something. But for the most part, Genesis is clean, but Tusk is still covered and Kithri is still covered with honey and feathers. So
Kithri will kind of walk over and like kind of stand next to Jen and mumble under her breath, "Can you help me?"
But to get to
she, what's her name? Where'd she go?
Gioba.
Yeah, Joba. So
Joba.
Joba says, "Well, thank you for your time. I am still over at the. I'll be working tonight at the tavern. So if you would let me know. Um, but this is a lovely place you have here, and I think I'll be very good at keeping it nice and clean for you all." And Murder
Yes.
Sven, Honey Badger Sven says, "Murder Mirror, honey bunches of nope."
That's a good one. Yep. Alrighty.
Somebody better have added the fun counter for that one. That was good.
All right, so So she
Yes,
leaves.
please.
As she's leaving out the north door, you hear a knock on the door.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
I
I'll
mean,
go
guys,
see who
if
that
you can't
is.
get the honey out of your hair, you could always like get a haircut. You could always go for the feathered look.
I mean, my hair is already a mess as is, so maybe I will. Hey Jen, could you just clean my jacket for me? Thank you.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Jen has become
Tuss
the
basically
official
said,
cleaning
maybe
lady.
I will. Can you clean my leather jacket? My leather, bear fur jacket.
Jen's got like Kipri's head done, and she's like,
It can wait, but like if you
okay,
would at the time.
yeah.
Okay, I'm just leaving this with you.
Okay.
And he goes to answer the door.
All right, so you open the door. You see that there are two males standing in front of you. Wow, both of them are tall. Um, the first one is very thin and wiry. He has these very dark skinned, almost like obsidian, almost completely black. He's got these two small horns coming from the top of his head, uh, and you notice there's a very short tail coming from behind him. He's dressed in uh, like a leather vest and matching pants that are like a deep magenta, almost like a burgundy. Um, very, very well dressed, nice, except for there are still some feathers and some honey.
Oh my god.
It's mostly gone, but it looks like it was scraped off and such. But there's still some, smaller the feathers and down and stuff sticking to him. And as he looks, he sort of sighs. Well, it appears it happened everywhere. Thank goodness. I apologize for my appearance. I can assure you that I normally do not look like this, but I am Ibebi, and I'm here to offer my services as the to run the house, or I believe it's called Buttle here in the Never in Nashkel. Um, um, I was told that you have recently taken residence here, and I would be interested in talking to you and offer you my services. And the one
Well, you
next to
caught us at a
him
good time. Oh, there's another one. Oh,
is
sorry.
a red dragonborn. Um, he's about 5 foot tall, and he's stocky especially for a dragonborn. Short, stunted tail, and his as he looks at you. Hey, the name's Zin, and uh, if it's dirty, I can make it clean. And see him. He sort of picks a couple of the feathers off of Ibebi next to him. Um, I'm the best house cleaner in Nashkel, and I'm here to offer my services.
Well,
Are we about to host? Are we about to
Should we
host
just like
a
should we just like
housekeeping
host a
and cuddle?
should like host a contest? Like whoever
Yeah.
can clean the certain room fastest gets the job. I mean,
It's the job and a race.
all right. Well, my first question for you two: are you here to apply together or individually? I asked the tiefling and the
I sort
dragonborn.
the dragonborn sort of looks up at the tiefling and Ibebi says, uh, "I we are not together. I'm sure Zin here. He
Well,
seems
I'm
a
sure
nice
you
enough
do.
fellow, but
Yeah.
no, we are not together. We just happen to be here when this odd feathers and I think it's honey happened, and
I think so
so
too.
it delayed our coming, or we would have been here a few minutes earlier.
Very well. Just wanted to ask for one. Um, come on in. We'll conduct both of your interviews.
Yeah,
We may ask one of you to
yeah.
stand in, aside while we interview the other, and then we'll switch. But come on in. you can use our facilities if you to clean up a little bit. It's a pain, I know. I mean,
So going off,
his mess.
going off Honey Badger's comment,
You
they say, "Are you familiar with the Watchtower?" They're both wearing black ties and white shirts.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Actually, no. Jehovah's Witnesses are not the Watchtower. They are. That's Mormon. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, I get the point. But I guess
wait,
bring
you
them
said
both
that
in.
you were told about this? Who told you?
I think it was the judge.
Oh,
Yes,
But we can ask
that
them.
is correct. The judge lived here before, and he has appointed me at my last job. So he mentioned that he would be selling this place, and you all may be looking for someone who has my skills.
Did you
Well,
work in this house?
No, I did not work in this house.
so a baby, a baby. Sorry, I'm
Oh, boo
terrible with
boo.
names. Sorry, I never figured out how to pronounce that name.
Yes, I am a baby. Yes.
A baby.
You're my baby. Here's your baby. Cool.
What are your
Simple.
typical rates? And you said you were applying for butler, correct?
Do
House Carl?
you
Housekeeper.
hear any rumors about the dingo? Ignore it. Um, the
The dingo.
it's a deep cut from the dingo is stolen the baby. Anyway,
It's on the baby while the Dakini was taking a pee. Yes. Great movie.
anyway, it is a great movie. So he says, well, um, he just sort of looks around and looks at Zin. He says, well, with the Honey Badger says a weem away, a weem away, a weem away,
A
a
wee
weem
moe,
away,
a
a
wee
weem
moe,
away.
a wee moe, a wee moe.
We could make so many jokes if we hire this guy. I almost think it's worth it just for that. Right there.
He says, it would depend if lodging is included, then I would be asking for a gold a week. If lodging is not included, then I would ask for 6 gold a month. One a week and then 2 at the beginning of each month to pay for my lodging. Unfortunately, while I can make light snacks and know my way a little bit around the kitchen, I would not be able. That is not my strong suit. So my duties would be protection while you are gone, and making sure that the house is run smoothly.
Alrighty. Do you clean? I know Zen mentioned is clean, but we'll ask you some more questions. But a BB,
Well, this is
do
what
you
our
would you
friend
also clean?
Zin is here for, and yeah, that's right. I'm a good cleaner. I'll be happy to do all the cleaning for you all.
All right, then.
just
Do you usually cook, or do you also cook, or are you just a good cleaner?
Oh no, I don't worry about the cooking stuff. Uh, most of my food I like to eat raw anyway, so I don't really worry about the cooking. Once a day though, or I can maybe a couple times a day, I can cook food for you. And it's like leans back a little bit and breathes out a little plume of fire. Anyway, if you're
I can
interested
respect that.
in some barbecue, or got some marshmallows or little meat on a stick, but no, I don't know my way much around the kitchen.
Understood. And what's your usual rate for cleaning services?
Well, I haven't. Really just depends on how much cleaning you all are expecting. I mean, right now this place is looking really nice. I would say
Mm,
uh, 2 hours a day. I should be able to have this place up and running. Or we can do increments thereof. If you'd rather me be here for like 4 hours, if you guys are really messy, um, uh, and for 2 hours, I'll do that for 5 silver.
mm. Oh, it's, I'm gonna need those prices again. um,
Yeah, I didn't
sorry.
really write down like how much they wanted to be paid.
I
So
have I've been writing them all down. I missed the okay.
Nice.
I'm presuming that he would not be staying here. If he's staying here, then it would be 4.
Yeah, probably not. And applying for
I do want to remind you guys, as I said last week, I'll remind you again.
Conversion.
You can do pretty much anything you want with this property, except expand it laterally. But you can go up if you want to go build another floor above. You can also go down if you want to start building stuff down. Most of that is going to be hand waved. Just let me know what you want to do, and it can be done for you. Um,
Okay.
as
okay.
far as the cost, it's just you guys are high enough level now to where we can just sort of hand wave most of that, unless you guys want to go crazy and have like a airship dock or something crazy like that. But for the most part, if you're just looking,
That would be awesome, but that
I
is
mean,
crazy.
Ken
so
already started putting torture devices around, so we could just get a torture basement.
that's right.
Uh,
So if
Well,
you do
actually, thinking
want
on it,
You
to
put the
build like
idea in
a
our
place
heads,
for
you
your
wanted
staff
it.
to live on your roof, you could have, you know, build some housing for your staff, things like that. You guys could get a driver and coach and stables and whatever you want to do. So anyway,
Mhm.
just something to think about, keep in the back of your mind. So they'll if they finish their piece, they'll tell you where they're staying, and they leave.
We
At this
thank them
point,
for
it's
their
now
time.
1 o'clock. With all the excitement going on and stuff, you are starting to feel a little bit worn out and tired. You guys have been going quite a while. Had a couple
Mhm.
fights. Been traveling, walking a lot today. Um,
By the way, can I roll insight for those two to see like
yes, absolutely.
how
I forgot
confident
to
they
have you
are
guys roll
about
them.
their
Oh yeah.
abilities?
Mhm.
And I think, yeah.
So just in general, okay, that's Tusk.
Mhm.
Gimbal and K3 Genesis. Okay, so
Do you want one for each or one for the
Genesis,
other?
you do know that. Uh, let me see. This also may be lack of role playing on my part, but Zin seemed to be more happy-go-lucky, more of a have humorous sense of have a decent sense of humor. Ebebe was not quite as stuck up as the first butler was, but he was a bit more. Ebebe was the least forthcoming with information of all 4 people you've talked to. Um, not necessarily hiding anything or deceptive, just not forthcoming with a lot of information. All 4 of them do seem to
Mhm.
be honest. It's a little odd to have a dragonborn cleaner, so
Yeah.
you're not. That seems a little odd, but other than that, you don't think he's lying. You just have never seen one before. So, um,
Good
and
news.
K3
Yeah.
and the other 3 of you, Tusk, again, you're still distracted. You see these feathers that have fallen from people flitting across the floor, and you keep getting distracted by them. As movement from out of the corner of your eye and stuff, and you look, oh, it's just a feather, and then
Yeah.
so you're not really paying much attention. Um,
Mhm.
but Gimbal and Kithri, same type of thing. You're not really, you don't sense any kind of deception from them, but the tieflings and dragonborn are a little harder to read, so you're not sure.
Did the teeth? Did tiefling seem to have an accent? Is that correct? Like a
Yes.
foreign accent?
hmm
Okay.
He does not appear to be born and raised in Nashkel, correct?
Yeah. And he seemed like
Actually,
just pure butler, no
Genesis,
fighting
you would
skills.
recognize that accent as Amen.
Okay.
Jen's going to. I mean, I think now that we no longer have people knocking down our doors, Jen's going to share like her, the senses she got from all the people of like, oh, this person was, he had calluses and looks like he actually does his job and this and that, and she's sharing all of that stuff that she noticed with the rest of the group.
Hire them all, put the
Right.
Aldous and the Bebby in the training room, lock the door, wait till one walks out.
No.
Let the cleaning people come, one in the morning, one at night. There you go.
Right?
Tusk can go around mess things up so that they have something
Yeah,
to do.
the Gimbal go around trying to mess up the house until somebody quits.
She said she wanted to get away from a place that was, felt less like alcohol. Oh, for shame.
That's right.
Alrighty. So it seems like we got 2 offers for butlers / people who would take more care of her house, and 2 offers for people who would come and clean the house.
Frankly, I'm leaning more towards Adolis. Is that how you pronounce it?
Aldous?
Just
Aldous,
Aldous?
the tabaxi.
Aldous, just because Sven went out of his way to mention, like, he seems like physically fit, so he would be able to, like, kind of guard the house as well.
One of his pitches was the fact that he could use a sword, a crossbow.
The other one did not like boast that, oh yes, I am capable of fighting. He was just like, oh, I can manage things and this and that. So it makes sense.
And he's like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna try to pronounce it. My brain is, he was like, yeah, as long as you give me a lean-to on the roof, and we're all like, dude, we're gonna give you something better than a lean-to. But
Well, we could.
it was like a little bit of hero worship at the beginning there. He's like, I'm standing in the presence of greatness. Like, bro, chill.
Aldous, the tabby tabaxi butler.
Well, I'd hate to burst that bubble. Maybe we should not have him come here because spend 2 days with us here, and he'll lose that hero worship in a hurry.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
I wonder whose fault that would be.
definitely Gimbals.
Plus, we'd find out if any of you are allergic to cats.
Okay, you know what? I deal with enough cat allergies in real life. Don't make me deal with them in D&D. Oh, there she goes. Did you hear her slide on the floor?
Jen would rather die than be allergic to cats.
And have you ever seen a tabaxi cough up a furball? It's not pretty.
Hey, it's just natural bodily functions. Have you ever seen a human sneeze with snot come out? Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah, those
I
dirty
mean,
goops. Yeah.
you know somebody's into both of those things.
Oh my god. Why?
Moving
Man?
on.
Why?
What did you just say, and why?
All right.
So, anyways,
Anyway.
but yeah, I'm thinking still seemed like the better pick for us. He seems to be able to hide himself and be able to provide a little thing for him on the roof. Will probably be better than just a simple lean-to, but
That's slightly better than a lean-to.
I don't know if any of you guys want to add going up or whatnot, but we'll get into that later. Yeah, no, Abibi, Abibi, the tiefling, he seemed to strike me as someone who would do better in a more occupied space, if that makes sense. Like having more
Yeah.
people to help manage.
Since you
Um,
won't be here all the time.
yeah. As for the cleaning people, Zin seemed like a funny guy, but I don't know.
Frankly, like Kithri low-key wants to hire Joba just to get her out of a tavern. She is a teen. You said like young to like teenager.
Well,
Like
Yes.
she's a
late teen,
baby. Holy
Genesis.
young
crap!
one.
Get her out of a tavern. There's gross,
Yes.
drunk, ropey people there.
He's,
Also note that her first time entering this house, she was immediately exposed to a naked man.
Yeah,
So
that's very true. Like I should also consider that Gimbal will also live here, and he's
this also be a safe space.
I
for
don't
her.
actually live here. That's the thing. I mean, this is our base, but I actually have my actual residence above the candle shop.
You know, you
Okay,
could
if
rent
you
it out
insist
for
that
like
you
a.
don't live here, why are you so comfortable walking around naked?
Because I love to shock people.
It's just gross.
Uh,
Were you shocked when I almost slit your neck when you walked around naked?
Nope.
I
I didn't even flinch.
Yep.
yeah.
Internally, I might have had a bit of a nervous moment, but I carefully controlled my reactions.
He didn't flinch because he was already so worried about his reflection killing its soul.
Correct.
Which I don't know if he mentioned or not.
I
yeah, he
did.
said he did.
Oh, he did.
He,
Oh, he
he had
did.
said he did.
When I
Okay.
came back, I mentioned the weird mirror thing,
Yeah. So
and I was
honey,
told not to worry about it, which worries me even more.
that's right.
That was Mantha being an ass.
Yeah. So
That was not
Honey
Jen.
Badger has a
That was
question for you guys. He says, on a scale of 1 to Gimbal, how comfortable are you with public nudity?
Well, players or characters, because that's two different things.
That's a very good point.
Well, Kithri has had to like been forced to be nude temporarily at least once, and she was not comfortable with that. So I would probably say a 1.
I mean,
I'm
Tusk
definitely on the gimbal
generally
end.
walks around in just pants.
I have to answer.
I mean, for a while he had like different pants that got just wrecked
Alt.
all hell had became shorts
Yeah,
and
literally,
had to
Jen
be
would just go
shown
around
up.
mending your pants.
But now I don't have to do that because my pants have inbuilt mending.
That's right. All right.
Yep.
So you
So
guys can think about what you want to do. Have you
Mhm.
made any firm decisions at this point? Do you want to send
Uh,
messengers to these people, or did you want some time to think on it, or what?
I'm good with the idea of the getting the girl out of the tavern, and she looked like she did a really good job of
I'm not sure I
cleaning to
want
begin with.
closer to you. That's the
Um,
thing.
it sounds like we're all in general consensus to
I do
hire
a Sherbet.
Joba and Aldous. Though we should probably send messengers to the other two just to let them know that the position had been filled. Like, could you imagine applying for a job and never hearing back?
That would
Yeah,
be
that-
awful.
What?
That
That would
sounds
You kidding?
horrendous. That's
That happens?
like,
What?
Uh,
Good thing this is just fantasy.
yeah.
yeah, right?
Where you could, live all of your dreams, be a freelancer that makes tons of money, and get 8 hours of nice rest every day.
Wow.
That's right. So speaking of getting 8 hours of rest, as you guys get ready to go to bed, a couple things happen.
Oh, Kithri does want to visit the Thieves Guild at some point.
All right.
And she'll probably go by herself, just kind of sneak off.
So are you doing that now, or are you doing that in the morning, or after you guys rest?
I don't know. Or she would probably do it later at night.
All right. So, Gimbal, are you going to sleep here, or are you going to head back to your place?
I'm sleeping here. I don't want to walk back
Okay.
over there. I'm still bleeding.
Fair.
I'm bleeding all
Uh,
afternoon.
Okay.
I just actually had an idea for you, Gimbal. You could possibly rent out your other place as an apartment to just someone.
Like the manager of the candle shop.
I mean,
Could be.
maybe. I don't know. Just thoughts. Become a landowner. But yeah,
Landlord.
landlord. That's what I meant.
Those are two very different things.
You know what I meant. You meant what I knew.
All right. So as you are starting to go to sleep, um, the camera fades to black, and we see Kithri asleep,
Oh
and
boy.
as she turns fitfully, you see her eyes moving from behind her closed eyelids, and the scene changes, and you see this very short little girl, looks like a toddler, um, running with a couple older one's a half orc and a young boy that looks to be human. Um, the half orc is a girl as well, and they're running up to a corner, a street corner, and they're looking around, peeking around the corner, and you realize that the toddler is not a toddler; it's actually a halfling girl. Um, and as they're looking and they're watching um, this fancy stagecoach that they had just seen pass by the alleyway, and this very well dressed man comes stepping out, a little slightly overweight, um, but has like a mink stole over his shoulders. He's wearing a cane with this looks giant gem on the top of it as he steps down from the carriage. And there's the restaurant owner comes out and leads him, welcomes him, leads him in, and the three of them sort of sneak back around the corner. And you see in the back of the restaurant, there's this open patio, and the large man comes and sits, and he's by himself in the back as these two servers are coming out and their servant waiting on him and things, and the three children are watching and whispering to each other. Uh, After about 5 minutes, this human comes in, and he's looks very nervous, and he's nowhere near as finely dressed as the the gentleman is, and he's carrying this small sack, and he comes and he sort of stands nervously in front of him. There's conversation between the two, and the the human puts the sack on the table, and you see the merchant sort of uh, the wealthy guy looks forward, leans forward, looks into it, and then sets it down on the ground behind his chair, and the human runs off. As servers come out and continue serving him food, when it looks like he might be almost done, this very well dressed female comes in. She's human, half elf, you're not really sure. Her hair is covering her ears, so it's not very tell. She walks very gracefully as she comes and she sits down next to him. Um, and it just so happens that the two of them have their backs turned to where the children are watching. and you see the two bigger ones talking to the smaller halfling girl as they're goading her and telling her to do stuff. And you see her sort of sneak forward as she sneaks between the little bushes, and she sneaks up and reaches out, picks up the sack, and sneaks back out from behind the bushes. And then the three of them start uh, as they're sitting there at the bush. They go to start opening the bag, and one of the waiters, the servers, sees them and points out, and they go taking off as uh, these the cry comes out, and you see two of the people that were in the carriage come running around the alleyway as the three children take off down the alleyway, and they split up. The bag gets dropped, and the three kids are gone. And the scene comes in, and you see the little halfling girl run into a house, shut the door. She's all out of breath. She opens her hand, and in her hand is an object. You can't quite make out what it is, but she closes her hand again, and as she's looking around, all out of breath, catching her breath. You see a halfling couple talking, and they sort of wave and wave at the little girl, and she quickly smiles and walks briskly through the room and goes into another room. The sun sets, and it's night, and you see watches the candle peters out in the main room there, and the front door creaks open, and you see three. It's very hard to tell what they are, but humanoids. Two of them definitely look male. One of them might be a female, or very. It's hard to tell, make all the details as they sneak in, and the door stays open, and they're all darkly dressed, and they come into the room, and they look around, and they're sneaking their way through the house, as they go into the two bedrooms that are toward the back of the house. A few minutes later, one of them comes out, and you see he's holding something in his hand as the three of them get together, and he nods and points to his hand, and they walk out. As the sun rises, he moves into one of the bedrooms, and you see there are two beds in this bedroom, and there's blood all over the beds in large pools that have collected overnight in the last hour or two. And the boy sits up, and you see he looks a lot like the halfling girl as he's looking around, and you see he's looking down at blood, and it's uh, tears start coming down his eyes as he's looking around. He runs over to the other bed, and then with a start looks up and runs into his parents' room, and it's the same situation. There's just blood everywhere as he shakes them and tries to get them to respond, and they don't move. And he's almost passes out as he's trying to register everything that's happening. He stumbles toward the door, and the this frame fills the door of a person, and the boy looks up and darts out the back and runs away. The person, it wasn't really looking in the room. He just was looking at the front door and looks in, and he comes in, and you see he's wearing the livery of Nashkel, uh, of a Nashkel guard, and he's knocking on the door and calling out. Um, and as he goes into the other room, he raises the alarm, rings a bell that he has, and You see these people come in, and this cleric later comes in after about an hour, and you see him carrying out the small halfling girl, and the parents are taken away in by in a cart and are taken away, while the girl is taken to the temple. And as Kithri's eyes wake up with a start, and she's sweating in the bed here in Braun's home as these memories come crashing over her, and she's seeing it again from a almost from a party point of view. She realizes that Fid is the boy, and her brother that she thought was dead is still alive.
Wow.
And with that, you guys get a long rest and you level up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Nice.
So I'm going to push you. There we go. There's a long rest. Ding, ding, ding. All right. So if you could do 1 second before you guys level up, give me just a moment. I want to actually do it in the right order this time because I always forget, and then end up having to retcon it. So give me a second here. All right. So let's see. And just to clarify, you guys do know that Fid was last with Captain Smilodon.
Hmm.
If you've been wondering where he is. All right, where are you? Here it is. K3 is 90. Tusk is 145. Genesis is 119. Okay, now you may feel free to level up as you see fit.
Alrighty.
I will adjust your hit points once you level up. Just let me know when you're done. So, for those watching, I presume, Kithri, you're going to stick with Rogue, or are you taking that one
Probably.
level in Cleric dip you've been talking about?
But when did I? I'm s-
He's joking with you.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm tired. Yeah.
What are you?
I
What are you
mean,
talking
you
about?
could go Bard.
I
Nothing wrong
mean,
with having a couple bards.
Zweklos was thinking about taking a leveler to a bard. Not.
Wrong campaign.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So I presume you're going Rogue.
Yeah. Probably. I'm looking at it right now,
Okay.
and reliable talent seems very nice.
So that leaves us with the other 3 multi-class
Uh,
people. Tusk, did you know what you wanted to do?
I'm gonna take another level in barbarian.
All right, so I'll make you
Um,
8 barbarian, so you get an ASI.
yep. I just played that. I am currently looking up what feat I would like to take. I will be taking a feat.
So guys, please, I don't want to quaff any ideas you might have, but keep in mind this is our Back to Basics campaign, so we're working only from the PHB. So as you're looking at feats and things, there may be other things that are open, but if you could just, you can also filter it on the top as you're looking at feats or other things, sticking with the PHB. And if you do happen to have any kind of Tasha's optional rules, just delete them. Don't worry about those. All right. And so what about Gimbal? Which one are you going to go with? You're half and half right now. So,
Uh,
or
so the warlock would give me one more, or excuse me, would give me Entropic Ward is really the only thing I gain at level 6. And one more spell that I know of any level. And then Wizard gives me one more spell slot. And an improved illusion thing. That is not much. Level 6 is kind of a midway point to usefulness for both. I'm going to go with the Warlock one more.
Okay. And Genesis, what about you? You looking at Bard or Cleric? Again, you're half and half, so. And we cannot hear you if you're talking, Mantha.
Her computer is frozen right now.
Ah, okay.
Her computer.
Did I just hear her say "y'all no" in the background?
Yeah.
Actually.
Let me see, where is this? Does this have my list in it? Alright, so did you decide what you wanted to grab as your ASI, Tusk? You gonna boost that charisma up? 1 point charisma, 1 point intelligence?
Perfect.
No. Actually, I'm debating between the tough feat and the sentinel feat at the moment.
Okay. Well, the
We
Sentinel will
like.
make you even more OP.
That's true.
Tough isn't as thrilling as some people think it is, but
That does
that's
give you a
really up
lot
to you.
more.
It doesn't hurt, that's for sure. All right, so your next is 100 grand. I'm not just looking at what's needed for the next level of experience. 2, 4, 10,000, 100,000. Okay.
Yeah, so Manful lied, her computer battery died.
Oh.
Or not computer, her keyboard battery died. Yeah, she's taking herself off push to talk, so I'm gonna try to shut up.
Okay. We appreciate
Honestly,
the update.
a little offended that you
Actually,
thought
that sounds a
I would
lot
be
more
ready
fun.
to make a choice. I have never been ready to make a choice in my life, and you know that. So, no, I haven't made a choice. I haven't even thought about making a choice.
I did surprise you. This is, for those watching, this is the first time I have ever milestoned them. They are anywhere from 9, just over 9,000 to 8,000 away from leveling, and I just sort of threw this on them. But they've been working hard. They've done a lot of stuff. They've been role playing really well, and I thought it was time to go ahead and get them up to 11. Let's go to 11, and I am the same way. I typically don't worry about leveling until I am
Until
much
you have
closer.
to do it. Same.
1,000, 10,000, oops, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. Okay. Joink.
You know what? To me, it comes down to like what I see more Tusk as for the feats I'm debating against. And honestly, I just see him as a really tough individual, so I'm gonna go with the tough feat.
Cool. Good on you.
That is my thinking.
All right. And would you share that? I don't know if it has a bubble or not, but if it doesn't, would you drag it to the chat? Fermi
does
just
have a bubble. There
cool.
you go.
All right. Maximum increases buying amount equal to twice your level when you gain a speed. Okay, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking also about the toughness feat in Starfinder's like 2.5 paragraphs long.
I know that's
And
all
it
it does is that increases your health, and then whenever you
okay.
level up, then you get a little more health each
All
time.
right, and I'll take care of that as well when I adjust your hit point here in a minute. I just
Alrighty.
have one
For
last person left. I just have K3's XP to adjust.
oh wow, it actually just immediately added that.
1,000.
I added the tough feat to my
100,000.
character sheet and immediately added 22. Or it says it added 22 hit points, but I'll
I do
find out.
have a constitutional amendment, is what the thing is called. The um, mod. It's not a mod. Anyway, it's one of the things I have screwing with you guys. Called constitutional amendments. So it may have done it automatically. Yes, I'll double check that. Like I said, and actually, all right. So everybody's at 100,000. I mean, 85,001 XP. So for the first time, probably since level 2, you guys are all have the same XP again.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Um, so for
Oh,
good or bad,
crazy.
whatever that means. At least for now. Let me go. All right. So Tusk, you had 145. Your con is 18. So you said you went up which one? Let's see. You went up barbarian. So
Barbarian.
12
So a
plus 4 is
D12.
16 minus 1 is 15. So that would be 160. And then with the toughness you would get an additional 22. So your max should be 182.
Nice.
That's insane.
That is insane. I mean, I've heard of characters reaching like 200, but that's like when they're close to level 20.
Sven, so I drag and drop the level, and I had 90 HP, and now I have 80 HP plus something that says
K3.
ADJ and 17.
Yes. Yeah. I'm looking to see what my options are because you're correct. You had 90. I wrote them all down, so it will be correct. I may that might be the Constitution Amendments thing. I'm trying to see if it has options. So give me a minute. I will fix it. You are correct.
Thank
It's
you.
probably going to happen the same thing with Gimbal and Genesis. It's probably going to tweak them, but I have what they should have been, and here it is. All right, XP, show extra health fields, clear HP on long rest. Here it is, average roll. Okay, so let me see if that fixes it. Where is Tusk? There he is. No, it does not. All right, so I'm just going to turn this one off. I won't use it on this table. I don't think it's the one I wanted anyway. What it should have done is yeah, this is not the one. I don't think it's the one I wanted. There was one that shows. So if you have like Gauntlets of Ogre Power, your strength score will be 21, but it'll be as you're looking at your character sheet is green as opposed to all the other colors, meaning it's being affected by magic or some other thing is affecting it. So and your same thing with your saves, anything. So if you're wearing like a ring of protection or cloak of protection, your saves will all be green because they're being affected by magic. It's not just the normal, that type of thing. So anyway, I don't see any of those things on any of you, and they should be there. So I don't think it's the right one I wanted. So I'm just going to kill that. So right now your hit points won't be correct, but because I thought to do it, they will be correct next time we play, which will not be next week. So those of you, I know it's 10 o'clock, so we're getting done here. For for those of you wanting to join us next week, we will be doing the other campaign. Probably not streaming still because I've never streamed it, but we will be back here in 2 weeks. So come back. Thank you for all the interaction, guys. I appreciate you. And
Yeah. Thanks for
nice.
watching.
Thanks for DMing, Sven.
I appreciate it. And I was kept trying to get you guys to rest so I could drop this. Hey, you leveled up on you. So, all right. But you guys are welcome. Thank you again for playing with me. I do appreciate you all. I hope you like your house. Again, IM me, text me, whatever. If you have ideas or things you want to do, you have plenty of room. And if you want bigger bedrooms, if you want me to swap the bedrooms, the 4 rooms you have now, into this bigger area to the left, to the east, we can make those the bedrooms instead. I just figured they look tiny, but they're 10 by 20, which is bigger than the bedroom I have now. So, and I share it with somebody. So, 10 by 20 is a pretty decent sized room. And I figured that way you have more room to play with in the rest of your house. So let me know what you want. And who knows, we can just give this whole area over here to Kithri as a playroom and bedroom and
The only thing I've thought
master
about
room.
this entire time is like, oh yeah, I forgot that I have this clockwork crab that moves when you're not looking at it. I
The
should
crab,
get like
yes.
a little cage for it, like a little. Like that's the only thing that I was like, oh, I should do.
Actually, one thing that I had in mind, because Sven mentioned it earlier, was making like a little shrine to our various gods that our characters worships. And I realized, doesn't Jen worship like an elf god and Tusk worships an orc god? That I know, like his god specifically is like against elf gods, or has had some beef with a particular elven god.
So Sylvanas is not elven.
Just like
Oh, wasn't? Okay.
He's nature. I don't think he's specifically elven. It might be wrong. I don't know. And I don't really know that Tusk, quote unquote, worships Grumsh like your traditional orc would. Grumsh worship. Grumsh is an evil god, and his worship is much more demanding. And if you're going to be an active follower, or if you weren't looking toward being a paladin or a cleric of him, you would be much more involved. But he's more for. He's sort of like a lot of. Well, I don't want to cast shade or make people misunderstand me. So anyway, he sort of leans toward him. Some members of his tribe do. He's been used by Grumsh
Yeah,
to
that
do
is
things
true.
for him. So yes, he sort of nods toward him and then says yes. But I wouldn't go so far as to say he's an active, high, religion follower, quote unquote. He just sort of nods to him and gives him respect every once in a while. If he's
Pretty
feeling,
much, particularly
that he needs to
religious
pray
that
to somebody,
day.
that's who we would pray to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like who do you worship? I guess this guy is kind of his relationship. I just thought it would be funny if Jen's god that she's a cleric of was actually like a god that was like opposed to my god, and we put them in the same chamber.
Same chamber facing each other.
Like, okay,
Yep.
get out, guys.
But the questions about multi-class, just a quick reminder, if you guys didn't remember, the way 5e does it is when each particular class hits level 4 and increments of 4. So like Tusk just hit 8 as a barbarian.
Okay,
gotcha. Starfinder is character level. Pathfinder, I think, is character level when you get feats and ASIs. 5e is per class, so it's more of a challenge.
The thing that Sven and I figured out after a little bit is that spell slots are character level. but
Spell
Unless
slots
you're
are
are
not.
unique to multi-class. So Fancy Grounds gets it right. Whatever the spell slots are,
Yeah.
now spells known is per class.
Hmm.
So,
Right.
yeah.
but spell slots are not. Spell slots are different. Um,
Unless you have packed magic, and then it just gets all weird.
it's
Yeah.
actually not that weird. The thing is, and I think it's pretty cool. As a sorcerer, I played one, and Gimbal plays one. You can cast any spell you have using your packed magic,
Yeah.
and it's the max of your warlock, max the highest level spell your warlock can cast, and you get it back on your short
Oh,
rest.
sure.
Vice versa, so you can cast any sorcerer spell you have using a spell slot as well. So it's weird that way. Now I personally, as I DM it, depending on what he's doing, I usually give a little bit of an oomph when you're using packed magic, depending on why you're casting it and what you're doing at the time. Sort of same thing with clerics. So there are times when I'll give a little oomph if they're really focusing on their deity while they're casting these certain clerical spells. But my point is, it's pretty easy actually to track in Fantasy Grounds, at least. Sorcerer and pack magic and regular magic. So I don't know that you
Yeah.
even lose anything. I'd have to look, but I don't think you lose any. So if you're a 5th level wizard and whatever sorcerer, I still think you would be as if you were a regular 5th level wizard. You can cast all your spells as like you're a 5th level wizard.
Yeah.
I think. But
Yeah.
whereas when Genesis is all messed up because she's bard and cleric, so she's got a whole crap ton of spell slots, but she's casting much lower. Can only have lower level spells. So
So
anyway,
Or in her case,
yeah.
just stab it.
yeah, or stab it. Don't worry about the spells.
Okay.
That's right.
I was like, I mean, I've got I only have what do I have here? I was like, let me look at the wizard. 5, yeah. My spells. So you were saying something about spell slots that I didn't understand at all.
Okay.
When or what Mantha said, I should say, because she was saying that slots go off the character
Yes.
versus the class, but that's not how my spell slots are working.
No, because you're different. Because you have pact magic. Yours, if I'm not mistaken, your spell casting slots should be based solely on your wizard. If I'm not mistaken, I think
Well, the
you have
warlock gets spell slots too, unrelated to pack magic. He has 2 pack magic at the third level pack magic. That's it.
right.
2 2
That's all.
slots. The rest of it is he gets. Well, that's all he gets at all, huh?
Correct. I think he
Just
gets
2
the
slots.
third one at like level 18 or something. Stupid.
11.
Oh, okay. So
11 and 17 he
smaller
gets
than
the
that.
4th one. So
Oh, okay.
so yeah, he's
4.
got
But
Yeah,
they
wow.
come back after a short rest,
yeah,
and they're cast at the highest level, which I think for you is 3rd.
right. Correct.
So yep.
That's obviously cool.
Yep.
Right. So if I was I don't know what would you multi-class it had both bard
So she has a bard and
or a
cleric.
cleric?
She's a bard
Yeah.
cleric. Yep. And so her spell
So you
casting
got
is based on
twice as many slots
no, it's based
because you get
on
both slots.
nope, that's not true.
Nope.
It's multi-class has its own chart, and it's
Where's that?
based on it's in the player's handbook. I
I
can
mean, where?
here it is. And it's based on what type of caster you are. So if you were like a sorcerer wizard, no, not sorcerer wizard. Yeah,
Yeah, those don't work.
sorcerer wizard does work. Warlock wizard doesn't, but
It shouldn't work
sorcerer wizard does
because
work.
technically, yeah.
Yeah, the only weird one is when you multi-class with Warlock, because you have to
So
mix
it's on
pack
page
magic with the
165.
spell slots.
Yeah, you just have to add. So like if you're a ranger cleric, ranger or paladin cleric, which is what my cleric is. I'm a paladin cleric, so I have much less I'm a much higher level paladin, so I have more spell slots than
Well, this wouldn't matter anyway. The actual
level
amount
20.
of slots. I mean, the height of it would be a little different, but my actual spell slots are the same as this chart. So,
Right.
or better than this chart actually with the Wizard Direct.
432. Yep,
All
that's
right.
the same as the chart. Yep.
Nice.
Mine is 432, correct.
Anyway,
But at 11th level, I'd have 3 third levels, and that's about it. Plus the other stuff. But it's not bad.
yeah. So anyway, so yes, so Genesis can cast 5th level spells. She does not have any 5th level spells because she can't know any because neither one of her.
So she can just raise up some of the others to 5th level.
Yep, exactly.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
she-
So it is cool. It's really cool. It's been working really
Power
well for her.
boost.
She's
Yeah.
been doing it. She's been doing pretty well. So, but she has a crap ton of spells, and as a cleric, she can change all of her cleric spells every day if she wanted.
Yeah,
Right.
but like
It would break Mantha, but
it would
she can
break
do it.
me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear that. Believe me, I understand the frustration there.
I would cry. Honestly.
I've DM'd with a few clerics that every time they leveled up it'd be like a 5-hour process while everybody's sitting at the table going, well, I guess we're taking a long break.
Yeah. Well, and with
Because
Fantasy
he ain't
Grounds,
gonna
it's
be ready
nice.
anytime soon.
So my
But I
cleric,
know
I
that there
have.
are people who like just, oh, I leveled up. Let me just drag all of the cleric spells into my
Yeah.
list and then I'll prepare them. And it's like,
Yep.
no. I
There is
couldn't.
an extension where you can just drag the entire list at once. Boom. And I know a lot of people that do that. I don't. I go through and I pick the ones I like that I know I'll
Me
cast.
too.
So I have like 15, 20 spells for level 1, and then I just go through and pick the ones. I still do it to some extent, but nowhere. I don't have all of them there. Anyway, guys, we'll go ahead and stop the stream. I'm not going to close down the table yet. So, but again, thank you a lot. Appreciate you guys. We'll see this group again on the 15th, if my math is right, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night. There is no gaming, but Sunday is the next time I'll be running a game. We'll be doing some Starfinder, and the week after that is when we'll be coming back on the 15th. So thanks a lot. Appreciate you. Give your animals a hug, and whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Everybody say good night.
Good night, guys.
Good
Night.
night.
Good night, guys.
Bye.